Do you want to get in your chair? Do you want to be in the video? No intro, let's do this. Some of my dear friends have started playing Stardew Valley recently, and I love Stardew Valley. I put 130 hours into it over the span of a month or two when the Panini started. And I don't know, I always thought because of the art style of the game and what it was about that it was like a kid's game, which is also what I thought about Minecraft, and that turned out to be really wrong. But yeah, there's characters with drinking problems and mommy issues and people who don't go to work because they're at exercise class all day. So we're going to rank all of the Stardew Valley NPCs. Well, not all of them. I'm looking at this list and there's definitely going to be some honorable mentions. Look at that. I made a list. Here's what all of the tiers are that I chose. Fair warning. I have never started a relationship with anyone in this game. There is a capability to have romantic relationships. You can get married, you can have children, and the person that you marry will move into your house. I have never done that. I am in, I think, year 10. I have zero interest in doing that, and I never have. I don't even think I've got many hearts with anybody, which is apparently not what normal people do in this game, but I'm not interested in having roommates. At the top, we have BFF. These are the folks I love. I love these guys. They're the best. We get along great. I will stay with them forever. Next is I fuck with you. You know, like, all right. We're not like best friends, but like I fuck with you. It's fine. In the middle, we have tolerable. Yeah, I'll put up with them, sure, but they're not gonna live in my house, certainly. And I'm probably not gonna talk to you at the flower dance. Nearer to the bottom, we have intolerable. So the ones that I really can't stand. And then at the very bottom, we have absolute menace, of which there are several. And so I don't have to decide who to do in what order. I wrote down all of the names and put them in a cup I had in here that used to have wine in it. Now it's a Stardew Valley cup. First up, we have Sam. Who is Sam? I think this blonde guy is Sam. To my knowledge, from the little interaction I've had with him, I think maybe he's dumb. But yeah, anybody that I really haven't talked to, automatically we're gonna go intolerable. Next up, Sandy. I love Sandy. Sandy is the hot redhead that works at the store in the desert. She's great. She is super cute and she's fun. She seems like she'd be down to party. She has a guy in the back that keeps people from going upstairs into the secret casino. And she's super easy to shop for. She likes flowers, which is great. I fuck with her. I really fuck with Sandy. I like Sandy a lot. Sandy's super cool. Next up, Leah. Listen, Leah's cool, okay? She is. She was the first person that I actually had like consistent conversations with in the game, but Leah is not a good sculptor. Leah is not a good artist. And if you become really good friends with Leah, she will give you a statue. And she worked very hard on that statue. And I put that statue in a box somewhere because you can't throw it away and you can't sell it. And it looks like poop. I'm just going to tell you what it is. I call it the poop statue. It's not a good sculpture. I think she has a story about what it means. I fully cannot imagine having a game relationship with this character because I would never have the dialogue option to tell her that her sculptures are terrible. So Leah honestly is tolerable. Like once she gave me that statue, I was like, okay, we might not actually talk anymore. I don't know how to interact with you from this. Next. Those two, hold on. Krobus. Y'all, Krobus goes up top automatically. Krobus is like the one that I would let be my roommate, only because there's another character that I can't be roommates with. We'll talk about it. But Krobus is like the one character that you can have be your roommate, but that's not necessarily a romantic interest. And I love him. He lives in the sewers. I love a man that lives underground because he can't stand society. Sometimes he gets in fights with the dwarf, and I will always support Krobus and pick his side. BFF. I fucking love Krobus. All right, next we have the governor. I was surprised that this guy was on a character list. He shows up one time for your village town potluck that everybody has to bring something for, which, by the way, it's just a giant bowl of soup where everybody brings something and puts it into the pot, which is not a potluck and is not a good way to make soup. I don't like him. He's intolerable. Frankly, he shows up once a year and you have no idea what he's going to like or what's going to be good in the soup. And I don't know. How am I supposed to have any sort of feelings about a character that shows up once and typically insults you? Evelyn! Evelyn's a nice old lady. Evelyn's great. I think she gives you a recipe for cookies at some point. I fuck with Evelyn. Evelyn's cool. And she puts up with her jerk of a husband, so good for her. The Wizard. Wizard is top tier for several reasons. Number one, you trip balls with him the first time you meet him. Put him up top. Love him and Krobus. Other thing, his ex-wife lives in a cave underground, also slightly behind the town, and will perform magic spells to get everyone to forget that you were married and divorced, or make your children evaporate and forget their names. It's great. I see why maybe he couldn't be with a person who practiced that sort of professional activity, but I'm glad she's there. And there is a door in his house to her like secret lair where she does all of these spells, which is great. She flies around sometimes and turns your chickens into something called void chickens who make void eggs, and then you can make void mayonnaise for your man Krobus. He loves that shit. So I love a man with a complicated backstory, and I just love that you straight up do drugs with him very early on in the game. Harvey. Harvey's not necessarily terrible. Like, he's not a menace, but he's not tolerable either. If I want to pass out on my own fucking farm, I can. And I don't need your ass coming to my farm at 3 o'clock in the morning, picking me up and dragging me inside, and then sending me a letter about it and saying, hi, I picked you up on your farm last night, and then charging me money to do it. I'm sorry, were you staking out my place of residence to see if I fell asleep? Is that what's happening? Or if I pass out on the beach because I was fishing? It is none of your business. Let a bitch pass out on the beach. Do not take me home and then write me a note about it and then charge me money for it. I don't care what your job is. I don't care if you're the town doctor. It's invasive and it's unnecessary and I don't like it and it's intolerable. Where is he even? Just no. Get out. Pierre. Listen, I know a lot of people who play this game are going to be like, Pierre, what is he, like, tolerable? Maybe fuck with you? Like, come on, he's cool. He sells all the seeds in town. You're right. He does sell the seeds in town at his store. You're absolutely right. Let me tell you the one thing that our friend Pierre does not sell at his store, and that's food. He doesn't sell food at his grocery store. Okay, he sells seeds. And last I checked, nobody else in this town has a farm except me. So if I'm correct in this, I grow all the food for this town, and you sell seeds when no one else grows food. It bothers me that he doesn't sell food. Where's Pierre? Oh shit, that's Pierre. I do appreciate that he gets in a fight with the Jojo Mark guy at some point, but I still think he's a menace. Jody. Jody's fine. Jody's cool. I like Jody. I fuck with Jody. Jody's fine. Haley. Haley's fine. Haley's tolerable. She is a super hot blonde. I really like her character design, and she's sort of portrayed as being ditzy, but I did actually get a few little hearts with Haley. And you kind of get a cute story with her. She likes to take pictures. She just stands around with her camera all day, which I will take over a poop statue. So she's tolerable. Haley's tolerable. Look, I love a hot blonde. I'm sorry. I can't do anything about that. Next up, Maru. Maru is the tits. Maru's great. I fuck with Maru. Maru, her favorite gift is batteries, which is awesome. And she does all kinds of weird experiments in her house, and she's cool. She chills by the community center. Oh no, fuck what? Go up one. I'm real good at this. Gunther. So I have a problem with Gunther. I'm going to go ahead and put him on menace level. And frankly, you know what? I'm going to move Pierre up to intolerable because I hate Gunther so much that I don't feel like Pierre deserves to be on the same tier as him. Let me tell you about Gunther. Gunther has a museum in town. Now, this museum was empty when I got here. And every time I find something moderately cool in this town, dig it up out of the ground, get it from the mines, it's a reward for a task I complete. Anytime I find something, even slightly interesting, I have to take it to this man, and he puts it in his museum. His museum. It's my shit. It's just like that fucking owl in Animal Crossing. Nobody else in this town finds anything, okay? This museum was an empty building when I moved here. That's not a museum. He's a thief, and he's a liar. And he is not a licensed museum curator. Okay, now that's done. Grandpa. I think this is the one that looks like Santa on here. Yeah, that's the person that like sets you off on your journey. So yeah, best friend. Obviously, none of this would be possible without Grandpa. He's the best. And if you complete enough tasks on your little farm, his shrine will light up and his ghost will come visit you and tell you he's proud of you. And if that isn't worth it, then I don't know what is. Elliot, I call Fabio, because he looks like Fabio. I've hardly ever talked to him, though. I think he's kind of a dick. He's usually kind of standoffish. I've tried to talk to him a couple of times in the game, and he's usually pretty pretentious. I think I talked to him once on a bridge, and then just never again. We will put him on tolerable. That's fine. Demetrius. Demetrius is cool. Demetrius likes to hang out by the mine and take notes about fish and stuff. He's always got cool facts. He's kind of a scientist. He's Maru's dad. He's cool. The dwarf. I mean, I would say BFF. Look, if you're not best friends with your local arms dealer, what are you doing? Clint. I like Clint. I fuck with Clint. He would be close to tolerable because he will not shut up about how lonely he is. And the thing is, Clint is not a relationship possibility. And I really like Clint. And he seems cool and he seems like he really needs a girlfriend. And I would love to be his girlfriend. But you don't have that option for some reason. He's tolerable. He's fine. Alex. Fuck, who's Alex? Oh, okay. He's like the sporty one. He just kicks around a football all the time. Tolerable. The bouncer. This is the bouncer that is at the back of Sandy's place guarding the casino. And I fuck with him. I always fuck with a bouncer. Abigail. Abigail's tolerable. I've never been super into her. And when I made my very first character, she had purple hair. And I think Abigail's always held that against me a little bit. So she's tolerable. Caroline. Caroline's cool. I like I fuck with Caroline. I straight up fuck with Caroline. She's cool. She's the seamstress in town. Sometimes she talks about how annoying her sister Haley is. Caroline is usually easy to find. And yeah, I like her. She's cool. George. George is intolerable. George is a dick on purpose. Honestly, the only reason I ever talked to him more than I had to, it was because I wanted the recipes he had. Sebastian. I fuck with Sebastian. You know? I fuck with Sebastian. He spends all his time in his basement playing computer games. He likes to just stand out by his house and smoke. I feel like I would get along with him if I ever had a conversation with any characters in the game. Next up, Shane. Shane is the one that I actually got, like, as far as you can without marrying somebody. I like Shane. Shane has an alcohol problem, which is when I first clued into the fact that this game was, like, not a little kid farming game. But the storyline's kind of interesting for him. You like find him passed out on a cliff in the middle of the night one time, and he starts raising chickens, and he really loves chickens, and he gets a blue one, and then you get the ability to make blue chickens, and it's precious. So I fuck with Shane. Gus is the guy that runs the local saloon, bar, what have you. The only guy that sells actual food in the whole damn town. So, tolerable. Robin. That's another toughie. Robin's cool. She builds everything in town, which is great. And she is married to Demetrius, Maru's mom. So, like, she's got to be cool, right? But she is never, ever at work. And I need her to do certain things. And she's never there when I need her. And whenever there's a jazzercise class, she is in that class all day. And it's a nightmare. So I think now in the update, there is a phone so you can call and see if Robin is there. But in the original version or the last version of the game, you just had to go to her house to figure out if she was there and if she could do what you needed her to do. And I would constantly go there and not remember that she had fucking jazzercise for like 18 hours. And so I'm sorry, Robin, but you are intolerable. Marnie. Marnie's fine. She involves me in a lot of her personal life details that I don't care to engage in. I do need to befriend her because she literally keeps my animals alive and she sells all the farm animals. So I'm okay with her, but she does actively get in my way sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. So intolerable. Sorry. That's what happens when you get in my way. Willie! Willie's BFF. I fucking love Willie. Willie's great. Willie always seems kind of drunk, and he lives above his little fish shop, and he just loves fish and loves smelling like fish, and I can respect that. Jazz, that's one of the kids. Intolerable. All the children are intolerable. Mr. Mr. Chi, I don't know. It's just Q-I. I love this guy. I fuck with him. He is, first of all of his design is so interesting. He's like a mechanic in the game that the designers use to expand the game. So he has all sorts of quests and things like that. And in the new update, he has a whole slew of new stuff that you can do and new accomplishments that you can get and achievements in the game, which I really love. One of the things I love about the game is that they're always adding new stuff and making it interesting. And so I really like him. I like him as a character. I think stuff like him and the wizard and the witch and this sort of fantastical element to the game that I didn't know was there is really cool. I think his character is well written. He has the casino and a lot of like underground layers and adventures, and I can appreciate that. He's cool. I fuck with him. Pam is intolerable. Linus is a BFF. This is the other person I was talking about that also, if I had my first choice in the game of who I would happily let live in my house, it would be Linus. Linus is the homeless guy in town. He lives in a tent up on the hill, and I love him. He takes baths in the river whenever he wants to, and you can actually offer for him to come live in your house at some point, which I did because I like him. He seems cool. And he declines. He's like, no, I like living outside. It's great. I appreciate the simple things in life. I love him. He's always positive. It's one of the first interactions in the game, I think, is you see him eating out of the trash and then you can like decide what to say. And I think it's a way to like establish your character kind of early in the game, which I really like. But Linus is great. He is super chill and BFF tier. Mayor Lewis. I think we all know where this one's going to go. Absolute menace. Community center has been defunct for years. And who rebuilds the community center? Who brings all of the things that they themselves find or grow or collect? Because there's an entire room there that's just money, by the way. And when I barely know you, dude, I just moved here, you ask me to go to your girlfriend's house and get your underwear out of her room. One of the first interactions this guy has with you in the game is that he left his shorts at Marnie's house in her room. And now I have to befriend Marnie, which I already don't want to do, so that I can somehow get into her room and get your underwear for you? No, absolutely not. It's completely out of order. Who are you? He also has a secret golden statue of himself behind his house, which I find very suspicious. And I just don't appreciate that this town was a piece of garbage before I got here. And now that I live here, I'm producing all of your food. I have filled up your museum. I have equipped your library. And I single-handedly rebuilt your entire community center by myself. Like, what kind of mayor are you? You literally don't do anything except ask perfect strangers to do very personal things for you. Penny. You know, I was going to put Penny intolerable because we haven't talked to her very much really, but intolerable. She is not doing a good job of teaching those kids. She just lets them run wherever they want to, unsupervised, constantly. Those kids are by themselves all the time. What are you doing? What is your issue? You don't like Penny either? I get that. Vincent, that's another kid. As we said, kids are automatically intolerable. Again, these kids are everywhere. They are unsupervised. I do not think they're being educated, and they get in my way constantly. So, intolerable. Kent. Ooh. I don't know. Like, he's okay, but also he will not shut up about the war. He's tolerable, though. He's fine. He's a nice guy. I think I got to a certain amount of hurts with him because I think he gives you something, some recipe or something. He also has an interesting side mission in the new game version. So, you know, I'll put him intolerable, but we're not friends. That's the last one. Wait, we have 3 more down there, though. Who are we? I only have 1 more in here. Emily, yeah, who's down there? Okay, so I guess these 2 aren't on this list I have. Emily is... I fuck with Emily. She seems cool. Yeah, I like Emily. She works at the bar, and she's cool. I like her. This is the Jojamart guy, who obviously we have to put at Absolute Menace, because that's literally his character. And I don't know... I don't remember what this guy is. Oh, okay. He is the guy that guards the witch's house. So we're going to put him at BFF because honorable mention, I told you I was going to have some. If the witch was on this list, I would put her at the top. I love what she does. I love her air of mystery. I love her relationship past with the wizard. I love that she can erase your children and marriages from the planet. It's great. Other honorable mentions, I would like to say the mermaid at the night market. I love her. I love her song. I go every single night of the night market and I will literally watch that video on loop. I love her. Last honorable mention is the little blue bird in the new game that runs the little store on the island. He is amazing. Every time you go to his little section of the island, he's just dancing and he's having a great time. And I love him. Every time I see him, I laugh. All right, that is everybody. Thanks. Don't like this video because I don't care. And don't subscribe because I'm never doing this again.